Big news coming out of Italy in the last half an hour. Antonio Conte has left Inter Milan tonight, just days after delivering them the Serie A title. He has gone, he's out. What now for him? Cavi is all over this. Cavi rejoins me on set tonight. I mean, this has been a fast-moving story, to be quite honest, Cavi. Less than an hour ago, you said there's trouble on the horizon here between Conte and the hierarchy at Inter. And you suggested, do you know what, he might just leave. Well, he's done just that.
Exactly. Look, Antonio Conte is one of the best managers in the world, and this evening he is unemployed, although he has got a €7 million payoff from Inter Milan. There have been crunch talks going on all day about his future. He was very unhappy about the fact that the owners of the club had asked him, just a few days after winning the Italian title for the first time in 11 years, to cut costs. They wanted him to shave about €100 million off Inter's budget for next season. And Antonio Conte was very, very unhappy about that. He basically said, look, I've won the title. I did what you asked me to do. But when it comes to Europe, we finished bottom of our Champions League group. Next season, I want to win the title again, but I want to win the European Cup. I want to make us a force in Europe again as well. And I will not be able to do that if you're asking me to sell some of my best players, to cut my wage bill. I cannot do that. I cannot manage with one hand tied behind my back. And that is why he has decided to go. Now, if he'd stayed, he had 1 year left on his contract. It was worth about €11 million after tax. So a lot of the talks today were around what kind of settlement he was going to accept, what the payoff was going to be. And we understand that payoff is €7 million. The question people will be asking is, why have Inter's owners allowed this to happen? This is a manager who's won titles at Juventus as a player and a manager. This is a manager who's won titles at Chelsea. He's done it again at Inter Milan. Why is this happening? Well, simply because the owners of Inter are a Chinese retail giant called Suning. They also owned the reigning Chinese Super League champions Jiangsu Suning. They won the Chinese title in November. Just a few months after they won the Chinese title, Suning turned round to them and said, we are closing the club down. We have financial problems. We want to step back from our involvement in football. And that is exactly what they've done at their other club as well, Inter Milan. They've said, look, this is costing us too much money. We can't put so much of our resources into running a football club. And Antonio Conte has heard what they've had to say and has said, look, this is not the way I operate. This is not for me. You need to find another manager if that is the way you're going to go. And our information this evening that the favourite to take over from Conte at Inter is the Lazio manager, Simone Inzaghi.
And who's favourite to take him on from this point onwards? Are we talking Spurs in London?
Look, we've been speaking to people close to Antonio Conte, and let's deal with Spurs first. As far as Spurs are concerned, people close to Conte are saying to us they believe Spurs are looking for a softer manager whose personality would be easier to manage. So we're not getting any indication this evening that there have been any talks between Antonio Conte and Spurs. But obviously the Spurs job is available. It would be a fantastic job. It is very attractive. They've got arguably the best stadium in the world, arguably the best training ground in the world. Harry Kane, if he stays, he's arguably the best number 9 in the world. And money would be made available for the next manager. But I think there are problems. There are problems about his personality, about the fact that he's fallen out with people he's worked with at Juventus, people he's worked with at Chelsea, and now he's had problems upstairs as well with people at Inter. Do Spurs really want to take that on? Personally, I think he'd be a fantastic Spurs manager. But again, I stress, people we're talking to this evening say there has been no contact whatsoever. Other jobs that are available, the Napoli job is available. The Real Madrid job may become available if Zinedine Zidane leaves. Antonio Conte has turned that job down before in the past. That could be an option if it becomes available. Juventus, could he go back there? We've seen they've had a very difficult season under Andrea Pirlo. He could leave. Their sporting director left today, but he has got a very, very difficult relationship with the Juventus president, Andrea Agnelli. I would find it incredible if he was to go back to Juventus. And Barcelona, again, I'm not sure Antonio Conte really fits in with the kind of football that Barcelona play and their philosophy, but there have been reports in Spain and Italy linking him with that job if Ronald Koeman leaves. Make no mistake, he's a winner. You know him, you've dealt with him. He's a very, very intense personality. He demands the best, not just from his players, but also from the owners and the people he works with. I think he wants to make sure that the next job is a job where he will not just be challenging for the title, but also challenging for the Champions League.